How you doing, everyone? My name is Artie, and our garden, our farm is called From the Soil. And you know, we've been busting our butt for the last 3 years with our sleepy little garden out in Elma, Washington. It's 92 acres, and I've just really fallen in love with Washington. And so we really have some great products for you that we want to teach, and we want you to learn and tell you a little bit about us. So first, we're called From the Soil for a reason, is that we believe in our culture, in our philosophy at From the Soil, with my two sons, Andy and AJ, and all the beautiful gardeners that work at our place, is that the best way to grow cannabis is in a living or a natural soil. That's what this plant was designed for, and that's why we are called From the Soil. We live in a very much of a, and I don't really want to say organic, although I've seen in the state of Washington now they might actually allow some organic certification. But my sons Andy and AJ and Jason and Ethan and our team, we do like bacteria teas, and we use back guano and sea kelp and all the natural things that we grow in our growing style. Our buildings, actually, one thing you want to learn, we build all of our own structures. They're big, beautiful metal structures with glass lids. We call them glass houses. So one of the nice things that really gives us that nice spectrum of what, this plant loves God's light. And so we mix supplemental light. Naturally, we use the E. Papillon lights from Amsterdam. We believe them to be the best lights. And we use God's light with these glass lids we have in our gardens. One of the nice things that really sets us apart, we believe, is that when you grow in a living soil, and everybody knows, is that first hit with your pipe, it's, you get that great flavor profile. But with us, we believe the first hit, the second hit, the third hit, the fourth hit, is still, you get those wonderful terpenes, and it's just in that living soil. It burns to a nice white ash, and it's just a very clean product. Our pesticide management is only organic and natural pesticides, and all organic. We don't use any chemical fertilizers. We don't use any chemical pesticides. Everything's within regulations here. But we're just so absolutely blessed that we're just so well received in the state of Washington. At From the Soil, we have a few different lines that we want to share. Naturally, we all know, as bud tenders and people that work in the industry, the med was a different day when you can open the jar and smell it and touch it and taste it and all that other kind of fun stuff. Can't do that in Washington. So the only thing you can do is you can only use your eyes. So we developed a program with our jars that we use a natural glass jar and a natural cork. And the nice thing, even when we did this, is we put a little magnifying glass down at the very bottom, so you can even see the beautiful little trichomes and all the wonderful things, because you can't touch it, can't taste it. Only thing you can do is really see it. In our line of flower at From the Soil, we have four size jars. We have our 1 gram, everything's still with glass. We have our 1 gram, we have our 2 gram, and then we also have our 3.5 or 1/8. And then, of course, and then we also have our 7 gram. So the nice thing about that is we have a nice array. We're not at 14 yet or 28, maybe in a few months, but right now that's enough. We have about 85, 90 genetics on our farm. Some of our flower, of course, naturally, that's a really important thing to talk about. My son, Andy, I am just so in love with him. He is so close with breeders. Here at From the Soil, we know it's all about the breeder. So, give you an example. People probably have heard of Ghost Train Haze, GTH. Well, the father or the breeder of that is a gentleman named Scott Reach. And Scott is the one, I'll tell you, GTH, or Ghost Train Haze, is probably one of the most single Cannabis Cup winning strains ever. It's been crossed with so many things. So Scott and my son Andy got together, and Scott goes, Andy, I'm going to make something special for Washington. And so he took his Rare Dankness and Girl Scout cookies, and he made GTH, and made a strain that he called Pamelina, named after his wife. So Scott's wife's name is Pam, and so he says, the only thing I ask, Andy, is just make sure you keep it after my wife's name. And I'll tell you what, Pamelina has been absolute fire at the stores. If you ever get an opportunity or you need a sample, let us know. Pam is fire. So then you're going to put Scott away for a second. Then we're going to turn around and everybody, of course, I'm not teaching anybody this, is that Tangy. Everybody knows about Tangy. You know, Washington really loves the flavor profiles. Sure, they like their nice and wonderful and diesel and sour and all that, but they love their strawberry bananas and their Tangies. Well, the father of Tangy, which my son Andy knows very well, his name is Crockett. And Crockett actually started with two other gentlemen at DNA. We love breeders. Started at DNA, then he broke off, still cool with DNA and works very closely with them, and started Crockett Farms. And he's the one who made strawberry banana, and he's the one who made Tangy. So Crockett made a strain for Andy and goes and says, you know what, Andy, I'm going to make something special for Washington. So he took Tangy and Wi-Fi and put it together, and we have it's called River City Orange Fire. I am telling you, it is just like smoking a strawberry. Super, super nice. Then we got the coup of coups. So then Andy got Scott, GTH, and he got Crockett from the Tangy side and said, hey, can you guys get together and make something for us? And we actually got, Scott gave, I think it was the boy, and I think Tangy was the girl, and we have a GTH Tangy that is just like, I swear you're smoking a tangerine. We really, really love what the breeders are doing. Exotic's doing a great job with cookies and cream, and you know, we almost want to be know everything about the cookie line. So we have a blackberry cream that's coming out that's we've already started sampling with some of the stores. That's blackberry kush crossed with cookies and cream. We have an orange cream coming out, which is with San Fernando orange coming out with cookies and cream. We're really, as you can tell, and of course we're really passionate about just making the best terpy, tasty, burns to a nice white ash flower. One of the nice things that also, and if you want to talk to your managers at each one of the stores or speak to whomever, we make these strain cards. And this is a great little thing about our line. So, and we can make it for each one of the bud tenders here. And what it does is, one nice thing with our jars, and we're real proud of, is that, let me sit this down here for a second, is that on the side of the jar, let me find a jar here that I can do that with. Here's BTYOG, better than your OG. What we do is we put actually the indica sativa dominance on the side. So whether it's a purple, following Leafly, Rebecca's the content manager at Leafly. We work very closely with her. And so you'll notice that purple is indica, green is hybrid, red is sativa. We even put the indica sativa dominances on the side, and we even put the flavor profiles on the side. We do that on all of our packaging, and I just think it really helps the customer if they want something that has a citrus end or a vanilla end or anything like that. Well, that's what the strain cards actually are for. So strain cards, we actually talk about Alien Dog, and we use the Leafly cannabis chart, so it's called ADG, and then we say it's an indica, and then we show the flavor profile. So we have these strain cards for you. If you ever want any of them, just let us know or let the manager know that we can provide these strain cards. So these are very, very helpful. We also have in our line, just to continue sharing, is we've developed an oil line, or actually two oil lines. One of the nice things about From the Soil here is we never buy flower from anybody else's garden. It is always 100% what we produce on our beautiful little farm in Elma. So we have two lines of oil. We run all of our own oil. We have our own. Kenny Costales is doing a terrific job as our extraction manager. Everything is all made at the farm. All of our shatter butter, sugar, crumble, live resin. So we do a wide array of oils. We have two lines. So one of our lines, it's going to come in this nice little glass jar. This one here is what we call our premium FTS oil. And we do this in a shatter, a butter, a sugar, a crumble, and also in a live resin. Comes in a glass jar, and within that glass jar is another little jar or canister that's going to hold the premium oil. Nice thing about this is it's 100% flour. We flash freeze it first, then we run the oil, and I'm telling you, this is fire. It is just a wonderful, wonderful oil. So this is our premium, what we call our FTS line that comes in a glass jar. Now a few months back, a couple months, we said, you know, listening to our stores, listening to you, the bud tenders, we said, you know what, we need to find a line of oil that's like what I want to call the everyday person's oil. So remember, we're called From the Soil, and our logo has a little flower and it has these roots. So we developed, getting a little cute, we come up with another line called STO, Soil to Oil. And that now, to differentiate between the two, comes in a little silver bag using the same little 3-gram canister that's inside. But this is our STO line. And very much price point driven. We've listened to the stores. This is the everyday person's oil. Nice thing about our oils too is that we do a lot of, many of our lines, we spend a great deal of time trying to find the right flavor profile. So like in our premium FTS or in our Soil 2 oil line, we have maybe what we call like a daytime mix. And we have an indica mix, and we have a sativa mix, and we have a cookie mix, and we have an ocean grown mix. The reason why we do that is so we can try to keep a consistency of what comes out of our garden. So let's take as an example, like the ocean grown mix. You'll see in our line that we have a Tahoe OG and we have a BTY OG, better than your OG. So we run the flower of both of those, and that's our ocean grown or OG mix. Our sativa mix, Blue Dot Dog, one of our own. It's a fantastic sativa. And we also have Shram, a great Northwest strain. It has a nice little lemon, lime, maybe a little bit of a licorice essence, but it is a sativa. That's what we call our sativa mix. Our cookie mix, Alien Orange Cookies. I'm telling you, that is just such a fantastic one. That's Alien Technologies crossed with orange juice, crossed with Girl Scout cookies. Fire in our store, probably one of our hottest sellers. So we take Alien Orange Cookies and cookies and cream, put the flour together and make our cookie mix. Our indica mix, that's going to be all of our nice heavy indicas, our Alien Dog and other indicas that we have. So we do that in a lot of ours. We have a citrus mix. So what's citrus? Going back to Crockett, going back to all those wonderful terpene flavors. So that's maybe going to be let's say like Alien Orange Cookies, cookies and cream, Ghost Train Haze Tangy. We take all of the very terpy side of things and we put them together and we call that a citrus mix. So anyways, we have some beautiful oils that we love to share at the stores. We have some beautiful flour in the different sizes that we love. You'll notice also in flour we have we do blue for our CBDs. I know a lot of growers maybe don't do CBD, but we have some really, really nice ones. We have a Girl Scout cookie CBD, we have an Amarita CBD, we have a Lily CBD, we even have a Cannatonic CBD. So for those ones that really want their true medicine, we have it in oil as well as we have it in flour. And a few months back, just before New Year's Eve, right in the early part of December, we said, you know what, we took a little bit of time to come up with the joint space. But we invented, you know, and we all know, joints are so popular at the stores. So we invented, instead of doing like a 1 and 2 joint kind of thing, we know there's lots of people that are out in that space. We wanted to try to set us apart. So we invented what's called a joint jar. And that's what this is. It's a nice tall glass jar. It is 100%, it's what we call our From the Soil premium flour, because this is all flour of what we do in these joints. We've probably heard of Futurola, which is Patrick and Toby. They're the owners of Futurola, and we've probably heard of them. They've come out to our farm. They've given us great input. We use their whole Futurola system for all of our making. They even make all of our joint cones, which has our even little From the Soil logo on the crutch. But these joint jars, what we did is we wanted to find a space that could be like that give and go. You know, so what we did is we have 8 joints in a jar. It equals a little better than 3.5 grams. Call it an eighth. We say 3.7, but let's just say 3.5 grams. and you get 8 joints in this. But the nice thing about this is 100% flower from the exact strains that come from our exact line. So we have joints in Gorilla Glue, and we have joints in Alien Orange Cookies and River City Orange Fire and all that. So the nice thing is a customer can come into the store and they're like, hey, I need something, I'm going to a concert, I'm going to the beach. It's ready, walk out of the store, pop the top and light it and have fun. The nice thing about our joint jars is that we can have them in straight, we call it straight 8. That's 8 joints of one flavor. So if somebody loves cookies and cream, we have cookies and cream jars of just straight joints of that. But also we've developed another one that really has been so well received, and it's called the Double 4. And what that means is we put 4 joints of one strain and 4 joints of another strain. You'll find in a lot of your stores that the Double 4, and the great thing what's made that, it's the price point is exactly the same for the customers, but you can make, now imagine, just try to have fun. We have right now 18 strains you can pick from CBD to indicas to hybrids to sativas. But the nice thing about this is we can make like a double indica jar. So if you're an indica lover and you love your indicas, wouldn't it be nice to have 2 flavors, or a double sativa or a double hybrid? But the other one that's fun is you can make like a day-night jar. Imagine when you have that customer that's in your store that they say, hey, I want something that's for the daytime or for the evening time. So maybe you could do like Alien Dog as your indica, and then you could do like Blue Dot Dog as your sativa. So we do these as doubles. And the nice thing in here is we put a little paper insert inside, that are cardstock insert inside, that still does the flavor profile, still does the indica sativa dominance. But the joint jars have been absolute fire. We've introduced these now for the last 4 or 5 months. We've probably sold about 40,000 jars of this. So until the next time I see you, thanks for spending time with us, and thanks for allowing us to be part of your family. Bye-bye.